Our project is dealing with trust in European democracies. It is a 3-year project which is conducted by 12 prestigious universities and research institutes in the whole of Europe, in Germany, in Poland, in France, in Italy, etc. We are working since 3 years to study the sources and the structures of political trust in European democracies. And we do this research in quantitative methods and qualitative methods. Our idea is to find out if political trust in Europe is increasing, decreasing, and if political trust in Europe is homogeneous across Europe or can be divided into different regions, different patterns of trust in different regions. So the first aim of our project is to study the topic of trust, political trust in government, in parliament, in the legal system, and in other political actors like political parties and interest groups. The second element of our research is to develop long-term and short-term recommendations for public policy to improve the level of trust in Europe, to propose policy measures at the European level, national level, regional level, local level. What can be done to make the political system in Europe better supported by trust of its citizens? So we have a research part and we have a policy part, and both are equally important. And we are disseminating our research in many different books, publications, but also on social media, and we are meeting policy stakeholders at the European level, at the national level, in all 24 countries to discuss our results with them and to make proposals how we can improve the level of trust in education, in public sphere, and in the media. We have in the core team 60 scholars, and in the extended team about 100 scholars who are working every day on this project. And we are producing books with Oxford University Press, Cambridge University Press, etc. But also some teams in Slovenia, Italy, and Croatia, and Slovakia decide to make a special issue of a journal. So this whole research program, is when we meet creating opportunities and chances to have regional publications and so on. So, and also what we do is we have panels at international conferences like the International Political Science Association, like the ECPR, the European Consortium for Political Research, for MPSA in Chicago. And there we have a panel where our main scholars are talking, but we invite also young scholars to join us. So I'm surprised myself because sometimes a project has only one book, and here we have already about 5 books in the pipeline, plus 2 special issues of journals, because we have this atmosphere of dynamic interaction, and not in all publications all 12 teams are involved, sometimes only 3 or 4. But it's like an atmosphere, like a startup. There's this energy and enthusiasm of doing a special issue on volatility or on NGOs. And this makes it very exciting. And in this conference now, we had this final conference. I learned about 2 new special issues of journals. I was not involved in it, so the whole thing develops its own dynamic, and this is fascinating and encouraging. We studied the social structure of political trust. And we found out that men are more trusting than women, which is not surprising, because women are, in political terms, more cautious and not so eager to give the political system full trust. So this was not surprising. Surprising was that age is important. The younger you are, the more you trust. And this was surprising for us, because normally we thought that if people get older, they are more identifying with the system and more trusting, and the opposite is the case. So we have the youngest people trusting the most, then the middle generation, and the oldest trusting the less. So there seems to be a crisis in demography that older people over 50 or so who are living in democracies sometimes their whole life, and others who just came in after the end of communism, they are very skeptical, and they are not ready to give blind trust and support to the political system. So this was surprising for us, because we thought the older you are, the more you're trusting, and the result is the opposite. It's the opposite. And surprising that younger generations, teenagers and twins, have a quite high level of trust. This doesn't change their political behavior much, but they have this basic support of democracies in Europe, and this was surprising for us. Regarding education, we had assumed that there's a clear linear correlation. The more you're educated, the more you trust. This is not the case. It's a U-shape. The young people, the people with low education trust quite highly, and with very high education also. But people with medium education, they are not, they don't show this level of trust. So we have a U-shape regarding education. This was surprising, and because normally you assume some linear pattern. And not surprising was the relation between income and social class. There is a clear pattern. The more a household is earning, the more they are trusting, because the system is working for them, they have income, and they are not disappointed and under economic stress. First of all, we want to provide a unique database of surveys, quantitative, qualitative, for the whole science community in Europe and the world. So we are producing a public good. So every social scientist in Katowice or in Spain or in America can take our data for free, and then we can have a debate amongst the global community of social science, political science, about trust as a public good. Regarding the politicians, regarding the recommendations, we will produce toolboxes, what can be done to increase the trust, and we have developed a list of qualities which are important. For example, that you should stick to your promises before election, after election is one thing. And so basically some catalog of behavior for politicians. And we can, our idea is to talk to the party academies in European countries and to give talks there and tell these young politicians what is good for trust and what is bad for trust. So we don't, the project does not end in December next month. We are starting a European Observatory of Trust, and this observatory is carrying on, collecting data and information, and this observatory is recruited by many of the teams in our project. And what we do is we want to go in Poland to the Academy of some party, or in Germany to the Adenauer Foundation, Eber Foundation, etc., and want to have a discussion with these young politicians who want to learn the trade. So one thing would be political education for young politicians in party academies, but also other locations. because some universities, like in Harvard, are opening classes and courses for young politicians. We want to do the same. We want to apply for another grant to do this. And of course, we are producing PowerPoints, brochures for political education at the secondary level of people between 10 and 18, because there are many teachers in this political education who are happy to have these materials and to use it in their classes in political education. So at the moment we start with 10 years and then go to university. We are also talking to political science departments in the whole of Europe about this, and party academies. So there are basically 3 groups where we are producing pedagogical materials.